Hey, what's up, Raz? Hey, Raccoon. Package came today, Raz. Actually, like, probably a half hour ago. Oh, good. I'm glad the leg is hollow. Is her bottom leg hollow too? No. That's alright. I could drumble through that. That's fine. I'll be able to cut through it. Oh, the texture on her arm isn't that bad. I thought it was a really harsh texture, but that's fine. Packs pretty well. No, I'll probably end up cutting out the key and putting a rod through the leg. This was actually cut like at the kit was cut like this. Not that it's a big deal. I'm just kind of curious if they cut it there or you did. Oh, symbols came out good. Okay, not a problem. Just kind of curious. I'll be able to patch everything. I guess I got to cover up the booties though, or the body, because that's probably not going to be allowed on YouTube. What kind of resin? Well, what kind of resin is this? It smells different. It's got a sweeter smell to it. I mean, the heads are nice though. Making a mess here. Oh, maybe it's just a lot of it in the box and they get that sweeter smell, maybe? It smells sweet for some reason. Unless you were eating chocolate or something with this stuff. Alright, so these are the two, yeah, this one's gonna work out fine. I'm just gonna break it up. I'll keep this one for a project down the line. But yeah, this one will work out perfect for her. A lot of parts for 3 items. Once I get her together, that'll be easier. So these are the bodies. Let me put some tape on there so YouTube doesn't get angry. You know, we don't want to get disconnected. All this bubble wrap in the garage. Let's go over everything. Yeah, I don't really think you needed to print out the extra heads. I mean, they look okay to me. I mean, they got a little bit of the line stuff, but it's not bad. I mean, trying to cut the head off just to have it with less lines will probably be more work than just putting filler primer on here and sanding it down. Is this just shiny because it's just a shiny area? Is it leaking? Oh, it's just shiny, right? Maybe it was just sweating in the box. It was like a really hot day yesterday. I mean, it's not bad. It's a good kit. I mean, I really don't see that many problems with it. I guess it's just I guess it was just leaking because of the probably was like stuck in the heat or something. It's only by the noses. Yeah, it's fine. If there's any issues, we got the backup heads, but I don't think it is. It's probably just, like you said, probably when you washed it. So when I've gotten other kits, I open up that Thor kit I'm working on that I got to post a video. I left it in the garage before I opened it for that hot day, and it sort of sweated a bit too. Hey, what's up, Henry? I'm doing alright. Hopefully things are good on your end. Let's see. How are we looking? Yep, she's gonna be a nice tall kit. Kind of give you guys an idea. This is these. So you figure her feet. So she's gonna be about the same size. Trying to think which foot would be better. Probably the left one for the rod, since the right one sort of, yeah. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably Dremel through here, and I'll put the rod up this leg, because this is straighter than trying to come up here and then bend it. Hold on, sorry, I got the camera the other way. Duh. Yeah, so what I'll do is left leg, which is here, I'll Dremel through this, and I'll put a rod going up here as high as I can, at least up to the hip. And then what I can do is pour resin and lock these legs together with this one. What I'll do is I'll Dremel the hole bigger here and here, so this way it fills it up. And then I can fill this leg up separate, and I could just attach it later. Trying to think, can the twisted might not look right. Get out. Well, yeah, I guess I could. Instead of putting it on her hip, do something like that. I just have to sort of tweak the shoulder a little bit. Can't do anything like that though. It's got to be more at like this kind of angle. So we could reposition this arm, probably. Sort of tweak up the muscle and structure a bit. Depending on what we want to do for each character, you know. But the left one, definitely leave alone. Trying to think of where I should fill her in though. Is the head, yeah, the head's hollow too? Alright, and it is hollow down the neck. So what I'll do is I'll fill this in, I'll fill this in, fill some of that in, fill some of that in, and then I'll fill these in, and I'll attach the leg, and then I'll pour resin coming down. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll Dremel a bigger hole here, and this way I can just pour it going down, and I'll just let it fill in, because this way I want to lock this leg up really good. I really want to lock the leg up. I don't want to risk any problems with like warping, and I don't like hollow stuff, because hollow expand and contract. Even though this is fairly, you did a good job with the thickness, I just I want it solid. I don't know, we might have to make the chest a little bit bigger. It seems that their chest is a little small for Jessica, don't you think? I think it's a little too small. We might have to make them bigger. She's got really big hips. I noticed that. She's got a hell of a booty, but the chest seems too small. So I think we got to make the chest a little bit bigger. We will rectify that issue. I'm just trying to plan this out now. So yeah, we're gonna boost up the top. We're gonna make the chest a little bit bigger. I know her waists are a little bit smaller too, but I think if we make the chest bigger, it'll look better. So let's get some silly putty and just experiment. Oh, excuse me. So I think if the chest gets a little bit bigger, it'll probably look a little bit better too. You know? Her legs are thick. That's one thing that they seem to have done with this one. Her hip is really, like, should be thinner. But I really don't think I want to mess with the hip that much. I don't know how well I can make that work. But as far as the legs, give her some really strong legs. But that's alright. We're gonna have fun with it. Let me cover up the bareness first before you have it on there. So, alright. So I'm thinking if we give her a bigger chest, it'll fit Jessica a little bit better. Because we want to make these nice one-of-a-kind items. We don't want to keep it too close, so we can tweak it up a bit. You know? I mean, of course it would be better than that, but yeah, so I think if we get them bigger, they would work better for her. especially with the legs. Yeah, I don't really think this stuff you have to worry about with shipping. This resin and stuff seems to be good, and you packed it well, so. Trying to think. The chest definitely needs to be bigger. I could. So what do you think? Maybe I should, so I gotta plan this out, because when I get in the garage one day and I clean these up, I want to make sure I have it all ready to go, what I plan to do. So I guess I'll ask you guys now, do you think we should take down her waist a bit? So I'm thinking maybe, because I gotta fill it with resin first before I do it. Thinking maybe sort of take a little bit off here, take a little bit off here, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then maybe what I should do is take this down a bit. Yeah, she got big thighs, but I think that'll be fine if we just give her a bigger chest. I also could do you think maybe we should take down a little bit of the stomach too? Because if you look at it from the side, you have that little curve, but doesn't she sort of have a bigger curve going there? Or do you think maybe we're pushing it? I don't know. I'm trying to plan this out a bit. I mean, it's Jessica. We can exaggerate it a little bit. Yeah, maybe the stomach is fine if we just sort of take down this area. Sort of like that. Alright, so we'll leave the tummy alone, but maybe, because this muscle is really, really pronounced here, and if you look at the Jessica Rabbit, she has a very, very, you know, I don't mind her muscles up here, and I don't mind the muscles here, but I think this area has got to go. I think this area has to go. I think this is too much. Because if you see, it's always better to have this stuff in hand, you know. So if you sort of take that area out, she's got a little bit more of a curve compared to now. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna gut this area. It's just gonna, I'm thinking just kind of sort of taking the waist a bit, and then sort of taking the waist a bit, sort of seeing how I'm trying to do there. I think that'll work a little bit better. So this way, when I add the cloth and we do the skirt or we do whatever, it sort of has that little bit of a hourglass, I guess, a little bit more. I mean, she's with the bigger chest, she's gonna have an hourglass, but I think this kind of just gives that a little bit of a pop. Lux, no, we have 3 of them here. One is going to be Lieutenant O'Hara, Whoever, or whatever. I'm kind of had a long day. Cosplay, and then the other 2 are being voted on. As of right now, the nun and sexy police officer are winning. So they're going to be like what if Jessica's. That's what we're doing. So no, not the dress. We're doing different versions. I do know one thing. She needs a bit bigger booty crack. This is too, we need that booty to, so this has got to come out. I think the whole booty needs to be reworked. It's just easier to do a cosplay version on the topless version to sculpt over the nude than to print out the dress version and chop that all down. So that's why we did 3 of these. So the booty has to be reworked. I think that's also a part of the problem. Is it's very like, she doesn't have that bubble butt, you know. So this area has to be cut in. So we got to give her a better booty too. So I think if we take the waist down there, give her a little bit better of a bubble butt, take this area out, and then give her a bigger chest, I think we'll have a good Jessica Rabbit. You know, I want to look at the sideshow one real quick on my screen because I'm thinking, I don't know if I should mess with the hair or not. I don't want to. But maybe I could tweak what's there. Yeah, so, alright, I don't, gotta do all our planning now. So let me just get a little bit better idea of the hair. The hair's not bad. For some odd reason I was thinking it was the hair's not bad. It's just that, you know what it is, I'm so used to working on the other Jessica Rabbit where it's just perfectly flat, smooth hair. But they gave this like more of that textured, stylized hair. And also it's definitely something I'll have to attach the hair at the end. Because trying to paint underneath this hair would be a nightmare. Yeah, hair's fine. Hair's fine. I don't know what I was thinking. It's just going to be one of those build and paint type items, you know? So I got to make sure that the hair is nice and set up, that I can sort of just kind of paint it and sort of attach at the end. Oops. But let's we have to plan our attack on here as well. So waist, booty, and then chest. So the Jessica Rabbit chest on Sideshow is definitely more pushed up. Raz, you must have this smell going throughout your studio all the time. It's a very sweet smell. It's not bad, it's just I'm not used to it. Because the other ones you printed for me didn't have this much of a sweet smell to it. You sure you didn't put like any candy in the box? Or like maybe you were eating like cotton candy or something? I think Raz dropped in like, you know, Mountain Dew or something. Just not telling us. Raz swigs some Mountain Dew, pours the Mountain Dew in to cure it. Swigs some more Mountain Dew. He's messing with us. It's probably like they'll never know. Raz printed it out, so he could tell you what he used. Let's see, kind of cut this a bit. There. Get a little bit of that cleavage. I just think you're used to it, Raz. You probably have this stuff, you know, in your house. So like with my primer, when people come to my house, they're like, "Oh my God, your garage smells like primer." But I'm like, I don't smell it because I prime all the day, all the time. So. I'm just saying it's just a sweet smell because, you know, the Bayonetta gun I showed you guys last week, it had a different smell to it, but it was more of a harsher resin, where this is like sweet. It doesn't smell bad, it just has a nice sweet smell to it. I'm trying to get used to a lot of this 3D print resin 2 stuff, so... So I think a nice chest like that compared to what we have will work. Yeah, so this is more in line with like Sideshow's Jessica Rabbit chest. See? It's exaggerated, but it works. It goes more with the booty too. Yeah, if it makes it in line a little bit better. Yep. So if we take down the waist stuff, do our marks. What did I do with the marker? Right here. This way I know what to sort of take down. Here, here. Other than that, the waist and the chest and booty, I don't really see any other problems. think we're pretty straightforward. Good. All right, so we're definitely on agreement though. Bigger chest. No objections. No second guesses. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, let's get each left foot. Where's each left? Where's this? This way I can mark all these down too. Yeah, Lux, I think by next stream I'm gonna end the poll. Next stream we're gonna decide on who's the winners. And then from there we're going to start going over ideas, because maybe by next stream I could sort of maybe do some rework on some of these a bit, you know, like I would like to, like, say by next week rebuild the chests on these, because this way, like say we do the cop, right, and say the cop has a opened chest, right, so what I would do is it's better to cut eaves, and sort of like say we had to do the jacket, you know, like the shirt like this, I can actually like sort of do my thing what I do with the Power Girls and sort of chop into it and then make it, you know, squeezed. So I figure next week if I could get these ready, we could work on something here and there, and go there. So we'll put the hands out of the way. And let's grab every left foot so I can chop these. Nope. Raz, you're messing with me. Did you print an extra foot? You did. Oh yeah, that's right. You said you did an extra foot, right? Raz is messing with us. Oh, which foot did you... Oh, this is the small one, right? This one you said you printed out too small. Okay. Alright. And this leg is too small. Alright, yeah, alright. I'm just, I'm double checking. I think Raz really wanted to mess with us on this. Alright, get those out of the way, right? Raz is like, I'm gonna mess with that bastard. Left leg, put the right legs over here. Gotta open these up. So what I'll probably do is Dremel a hole through here, and take this key out completely. And then what I'll do is I'll put a rod going up the leg. I'll make sure the rod is going straight down, and then I'll glue this together and make sure it's seamed correctly, you know, in the right direction. And then I'll attach this leg to the body. I'll pour in my resin, and then what I'll do is after that's done, I'll Dremel out the glue and I'll re-seam this up with Aves. So what I need to do also is sort of Dremel out this hole, sort of Dremel out the hole here. Same thing with this. So I think I got a couple extra rods. This one's all rusted out. I'll use this one. Gotta go to the store and have them order me more. So it should all be the same size, right? 3/16 by 12. 3/16 by 12. Yeah. So you figure if I can have the rod go all the way up to there, we'll be good. As long as you got enough, little bit of a key to go into the base and it goes up this leg, and if I have to sort of like bend it a bit to go into here, it'll work. So as long as this part is locked in really well, I'll be happy. So, hey Jacob, how's it going? Busy week, plugging away. Got the Jessicas in, going over some of it now. I mean, you could put the rod up to here in the thigh and it would still be good, but I like to go overboard and I like to make sure it's secured. So okay, so I got enough rods for these. Oh crap, I think I got enough rod for the other item in the garage. Crap. I might, hold on a second. Hold on. Alright, yeah, I got one more rod for the other item. Just wanted to make sure I had enough rods for my projects. Alright, so I got enough for Jessica's, I got enough for the Thor I'm working on. So we are good. We are good. Alright, so what I'm thinking we'll do, start working on some items. So what I'm going to do is I'll use filler to fill this in, and then when I attach this, how should I attach this? I'm not. When you guys worked on Jessica, was this foot flat or was this foot sort of sticking up in the air? I forget. Because now I'm actually thinking I would have to line this leg up first and then line this one up to make sure this foot is flat. Only because sometimes when you build kits, if you don't build them, it's sticking up a bit, so it's not perfectly flat. Because I don't, which is fine if it's not all the way down, because I could get rid of the key completely. Maybe what I'll do is I'll Dremel a hole, put in a rod with Dave's, have it stick up to like here, and then what I'll do is I'll glue it, let the glue seam the whole area, and then I'll just pour resin in there to lock that into place, and then I can do my attaching of the leg. Okay, so this foot isn't completely flat on the piece. Then I'm going to cut that right off then. As long as the left leg is locked in with a rod, the right leg doesn't really matter as much. As long as the toe is sort of touching the base, we'll be good. Alright, good. Then I can go ahead and do what I was thinking. I hate it when both like feet are flat, and sometimes it's not that it's the printer, sometimes it's the resin shrinks, and sometimes it warps, and you get this little like issue when you start to put it together, they don't line up correctly. It's a pain in the ass, so. I'm posting a video on, so this is actually good timing. I did my review video on this door kit I'm working on. So I'm actually keying all this together and putting it together. So this is actually perfect timing to get the Jessicas in. So while I'm working and keying this item up, I could be working and keying this item up too. Since I'll be in the garage sweating my ass off. So good timing on getting these in. The hairs, I'm going to sort of let them kind of sit for a bit until I get the body and everything situated. And then once we kind of vote on the characters and whatever we're going to do, I can then sort of like do the hair a little bit here and there at the end. So I really want to try to get the bodies and everything locked in first. And then I can worry about the hair later. The hair came out good. It's just a matter of just making sure it's flush and attaching it. So right now we're going to just focus on getting the bodies together. We're going to pick out the boats, figure out what we're going to do. Yeah, I think it's just I also think sometimes these guys cut kits and they don't cut them correctly. Like, Ownage knows how to cut their kits, because Ownage is like either godly when they cut their items. I think it's just some of these guys on Patreon. I think when they cut their items, not saying they all do, but I think some of them cut too much of the item. Like, instead of like giving a nice thin cut, sometimes they cut out a little too much. I know somebody sent me some pictures of a kit they were working on, and it seemed like, you know, like say there's a boot here, instead of cutting it really thin, they cut like a big chunk out, and it didn't line up correctly. So. No, Jacob, we printed out the nude versions, not the dress version. The nude versions are easier to sculpt off of. Well, not the nude version, well, the topless version. So, whenever I do customs, it's always easier for less item to scrape off and chop out. Is easier to work off of. Alright, so with the left legs, left feet. Jacob, a lot of these guys now on Patreon, I've noticed that they're doing like the cloth version, and then they do the nude version as well. So some of these guys have a not for safe work version, so it's becoming more and more common, I guess. Oh, one thing that was really exciting today, I got an email from, I'll post it in chat, from ES Monster. They're doing a Bayonetta kit, and I love it. I am signing up for it, and I am getting it. I have to have it. I have to have this kit. Well, it's a 3D print. It's not video game accurate, but it's like more of an animated version. I like it, so. Of who? Bayonetta? No, I just put it in chat. I love it. Yeah, so that was kind of exciting morning. I was half asleep. I got out of bed. I went into the bathroom. I had my iPad, and I'm sitting down. And then I saw the email, and I was like, oh, it woke me up right away. I was like, I don't even need coffee this morning. I was like, I gotta get it. So my friend said he'll have his guy print me one, and I guess I gotta do more work for him, which is fine. So, but I really like it. It's a nice pose. It's got that animated feel. It's pretty good. Yeah, I forgot I was signed up for ES Monster's Patreon update. So when I saw it, I was like, damn it. So I want it. I want to support them. So I'm going to sign up for the month and get it. It's usually, I guess, cheaper to sign up for the month and get the rewards than to try to buy it off CG Trader, I guess. So, and then Abe 3D posted America Chavez. So I think I'm going to sign up for that so I can use that as my kit flash. So, got a lot of stuff to do over the next year. Well, what I'm going to do, Jacob, is I'm going to print up a base, and then I'll take those things off her feet, and I'll put her on like an oval base or something. So, I'm not going to print her, I'm not going to, you know, put her together like that. She's got to be on a base because she'll fall that way, you know. So I like on CG Trader's got these oval bases and stuff. So they got some really cool design ones. So I'm gonna get one of those and print it out. Once I get caught up on projects, I do a couple personal stuff. I'll get those printed up. So those will probably be like an end of the year next year stuff. But. Alright, we are in good shape. So we got our plan for Jessica's. We got her, we're in. We're gonna be rolling soon. I just need a good day in the garage to sand and chop and fill and prep. Do you guys know who's winning still on the Patreon? I forgot to check before stream. The last I checked, it was the Cop and None. I don't know if it's changed yet. Alright, I'm starting to put some of this stuff in the garage, so get out of my way. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that many people follow me on Patreon, so. But by next stream, we'll end it, and who's ever winning, that's what we go with. And if we think those are the ones that are gonna win, if you guys are on Patreon, start finding some reference stuff. Just some ideas. Alright, and don't forget we're gonna build her chest out like this. So it's gonna be a chunk of resin on there. Alright, let's see where I'm at right now. Raccoon, I don't know. That's if you guys got any reference stuff that we go off of. Maybe Sexy Cop is a little bit of a longer skirt than a Slutty one would be a shorter skirt where her booty hangs out. I don't know. I guess the question doesn't matter. Well, I guess the other thing too is if we're doing a skirt, is it going to be like a regular skirt, or are we going to do like a latex type paint up? You know, I don't know. I type sexy, but it could be slutty. We'll see. I guess it's also if we give her the gun with the carrot, or we give her the baton with the carrot. I don't know. There's a lot of ways we could go with it, I guess. But these size bases are going to be perfect for Jessica too. So I have 2 of them. I got to make 1 more. So I actually might do a lot of the Jessica work tomorrow, just to get ahead of the game a bit. I'll have to see. All right, where's my gloves? Here they are. And now that I got the Xavier school sign, I can finish up Jean's base, and then I can start painting her up as well. Be nice to get her off my floor. I got the Magneto helmet sort of finished, and I also got to just kind of scrape up the Juggernaut helmet, and we'll be pretty good. these out of the way. Oh yeah, last week Jacob was asking about the hands. I sort of tweaked up the hands a bit to make them look the same a little bit more now. So they're kind of more in scale. Like the finger length and then the thickness. So it's just the thumb a little bit. It's because it's extended. But I sort of made it so it's pretty close. Oh, CGC, yeah. So what I did with CGC was I contacted them and I sent them the pictures. And they said send it back as a mechanical error, and their top guy is going to look at it, because since I posted about my video, a couple more videos have come out, and also a lot of people on the forums are saying that theirs are bent too. So, and then if you go onto CBCS's Facebook page, they did a video where they put a banana in the case and they squished it and they locked it in, and then they said no bends here as a dig to CGC. So that was kind of funny. But I talked to my friend and we're done with CGC. This is there's just too many issues with them. Some guy posted a video where he got it at a 9/8. The book was fine, but in shipping, the top of the book was all like, what you would call it? The top of the book was all chopped up. So either the book was graded at a 9/8, and then somebody else put it in the case and messed it up, or the book moved in shipping and it bent up the whole top up here. So I watched one stream the other day, and they said that when they get your books out of your box, they put your paperwork in here and they put a rubber band around your books. Now that's what a streamer said, so I don't know if it's true, but it could explain why I'm having a nick on all the books in the same spot. I don't know. But yeah, we're pretty much done with CGC now. It's just one thing after another. So we're gonna wait for PSA. But when I go to shows, I'm gonna use CBCS for signatures. My luck is they're just gonna send it back and say, oh, that's normal. It's still a 9/8. I'll be like, nah, I'm done. I'm like, you bent the books, you ruined them, so. Alright, so I'm going to work on her hair. I think I'm going to work on this side first, and then this side. Just going to try to make this work. Let's grab some paintbrushes. This. Well, that's my problem. If they look at it and they say, oh, well, it's a 9/6 now, but I'll be like, well, you're the ones who messed it up. And I hope they don't just press it and they send it back to me, because that bend is there and I could tell their color breaks. So, I don't know. I've lost faith. Lost faith in them. Well, CGC is like the main, you know, that's where you get your main. They're like the main company right now, and they're the ones that give you the most profit for your books graded. Where CBCS gets a little bit less money, but I don't know. Things are just getting worse and worse. I don't know if it's because they hired a bunch of new people who don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're trying to crank stuff out. I don't really know what's going on. But a lot of people are saying these days they'd rather have a raw comic book now than a graded one. So So this All-Star Comics, right? First Power Girl, we'll go off of this. So so this is a 6.5 and it's signed, but say it's not signed. So say it's 6.5, people are like, you know what, it's a 6.5, I'll pay like 150 for it. Whereas like a 7.0, people will like say, oh, I'll pay like 180, 200 for it. And then the higher you go, the more the book is pristine, and the more people will pay money for it. So, like a 9.8 of a Power Girl first appearance is like $3,000. A 9.6 is probably around $800, and it just kind of goes down. So the whole reason for grading was, you know, instead of buying a raw book off of eBay and somebody says it's near mint, but when you get it and you pull it out of the box, the back of it is torn off. Now the grading companies came in and said, oh, well, this is a 6.5, so now you know what you're buying, compared to buying a raw comic. So hey, what's up, Iceman? Doing pretty good. Just plugging away now at work. You get all those paints organized. I still got to order those ones we talked about last week. I should hit the hobby store when I get a chance, see if they still got any of those older paints still on the shelf. Probably don't by now. That's good to know. I should probably order a couple. Yeah, I'll probably have to test one or two if I ever could get a hold of them just to try it out myself. But from what you've been saying in the videos, doesn't look like there's much hope for the line anymore. Let's get this a little bit more comfortable. Well, Vallejo has that that non airbrush line, which is pretty thick, but you have to really thin that stuff out. I don't know if you use that stuff. I don't know if you've seen it. It's what is it called? The Pan Acers brand. So this is, I guess, their like thick paint that's not airbrush ready. Yeah, the Pan-Acers brand is the brand I always see at the hobby store, but that's more of like whatchamacallit. It's more for you know, miniatures. I don't buy too much of them because it's really, really thick paint. It's not bad, but I figure if I'm gonna buy thick paint, I'm gonna buy the golden or something to get more bang for your buck. And it does like the same thing, you know? Well, if that's what works, go with it. Just sucks that they have to keep changing all these paints up. I gotta cut it more, but I gotta let it harden up a bit. So what do you guys think of that side at least? I gotta kind of blend it in a little bit more, but if I start trying to cut it more, it's gonna sink. And then if this side is sort of pulled back, I think it'll give it that sort of mother look, I guess. Since she's a mom. Yeah, it's just it's too soft still. I gotta let it harden up a bit. Definitely got that soccer mom haircut, I would say. What clear are you talking about? I'll tell you one thing, that polyurethane clear from Vallejo, I don't like it at all. The Mecca varnish is still better. Although, I will say, the only thing I liked about these two, polyurethane satin varnish and well, I have a clear one, is this is good for like if you want to paint like lips a little shiny, or if you want to give a coat to the eyes without putting like a heavy clear coat in the eyes. I like this stuff, but trying to spray this stuff through an airbrush, even with thinner, I don't like it. This stuff does not go on good at all, and it really doesn't like to go through my airbrush either. But the Mecca varnish, which is the, if it's the new formula, if this is the new formula or just a new bottle, this stuff is still amazing. Actually, this stuff hasn't ever clogged up on me yet. So I don't know if maybe they stopped it from clogging, but this is still the best matte varnish I got. Oh, so you're using automotive stuff on acrylics? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, that's going to cause an issue. You got to be careful with acrylics and enamels going onto it for a clear coat. I've sort of had issues in the past, so you got to do your test to see what acrylics won't cause issues with the car paint. Because when car paint dries, it wants to be a hard candy shell, and acrylics are still more of a rubber for a long time. The only reason why I do it over the skin tones, that Duplicolor clear, is because I like to secure the paint, and I sort of came up with a formula. But trying to do like the car clear over like reds and greens and, you know, like an outfit, it doesn't like to cure correctly because it's a car paint versus acrylic paint. Yeah, just test before you do it on the final item, just to make sure. Alright, so as far as Gene, so this is the bad print, which is not bad, but I want to break it. So I'm thinking, so I did chisel this out because I couldn't get this cleaned up that perfect, so I wanted to at least make the mask a little bit better. So I'm thinking the helmet like here, broken sign there, and Magneto's helmet like back there. But I'm thinking of breaking the sign. Even if it's kind of like broken in. So Raz, we're gonna break the sign on stream, so let's hope for the best. Nope, that broke off. And that broke. So what I could do is sort of something, or maybe I put Juggernaut's helmet like this. Do something like this. Magneto's helmet, sort of trying to think of. I want to do the hair. I don't want to start sculpting the base with freeform until the hair is done, so I'm just going to kind of toy with positions for now. We can Juggernaut's helmet like this. School sign sort of there, and then Magneto's helmet sort of here. I mean, I gotta put freeform air around it and sort of like stick the pieces in. Juggernaut's helmet's a pain in the ass. It's bigger than I expected. We'll make it work somehow. I'll put Juggernaut's helmet more like that. Put sort of like this. Put this one sort of like that. We could do something like that. That's how I feel right now. Yeah, just something like that would work. You know, the helmet could be like at an edge, and put all that freeform air in there. Just could kind of go down. We could break this off a little bit more. Maybe what I should do is mix up freeform air, shove it on there, throw the pieces on, let it cure, and then add more gravel and dirt on top of it. Maybe that's what I should do. But I want to scrape up the helmet a little bit more. Well, Juggernaut's helmet doesn't break. Like, the common thing about Juggernaut is to get his helmet off, you know, and then you can stop him. So, I need the Juggernaut helmet to be there, plus it's kind of a good, sort of like, her leg is above it, you know? It's just a matter of trying to figure out how to fit it in there. I gotta mix freeform air and shove it on the base and then start throwing the pieces on. And then once the pieces are locked in, I could go in with freeform air and make it dirty and dirt and, you know, sort of play with it a little bit more. So I definitely want to make the helmet, like, sort of marked up a bit. The reason why I'm throwing Juggernaut's helmet and Magneto's helmet, because this is more of the old school Jean when they first, you know, started. So I don't want to give her, like, you know, fire or glowing powers. I just want to give it more of that older school feel. That's kind of the goal with this one. This way when I paint this, I could do a wash in there and some of that wash would go into a lot of these crevices, you know, so it's not just a perfect dome. Look like maybe Wolverine sort of hit this part here. Sort of over here as well. Now that we have some eaves, though, I should fill up some of the Jessica ports. I always forget something like this. So her left leg is going to be attached. So easy way to do this when I fill in, just sort of put eaves in here, fill it in, and then just Dremel those out. I'm sorry, her right leg, not her left leg. So this way when I fill her down. Alright, so this one you added extra ports on, Raz? Is that what happened on this one? I think you said. Okay. Yeah, because I picked that up, I'm like, wait, there's no holes here. That's alright. Not a problem. I'll make it work one way or the other. Once I prime it up, I'll see how much putty I got to use in the faces. It shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, it's a little bit of lines there, but it's nothing a little putty and the primer won't get rid of. It's not like some of the items I've gotten from people where you see like a huge line going across. Hey, how's my nails breaking that? The reason I fill up eaves in these holes when I pour my resin down and not put like tape there, I made that mistake a while back where I think, oh, a piece of tape would be fine. I wasn't paying attention, and the heat of the resin sort of kind of melted the tape and it started leaking all over the place. So I'd rather put a big chunk of eaves in there, let it cure, and then just like hit it with a Dremel tool, chop it out, and then attach it like you'll never even see it. The eaves sort of gives it a better seal compared to just trying to throw tape there. I'm sure there's other methods too, but I got the extra eaves, so we might as well just do it. And as far as our hands go, those keys are pretty thick, but I'm going to throw some eaves in here anyway, and then I can always redo it or add a rod or something else. So I'm not worried about keys at all. I'd rather be able to fill this in and not have to worry. Same thing with the hair. Those look like it's see-through, right? Yeah. Yeah, I still might tweak the hair a bit. I'm not sure yet. It all depends on how the outfits go. if I feel that maybe we should sort of tweak the hair a little bit more, make it a little animated, or if we leave it as is. I'll figure that out. Because I really like how Sideshow did their hair, because it feels more like Jessica Rabbit. But this one has a little bit more realistic feel to her, you know? I'm not missing any other tourist spouts, right? No, we're good. Like I said, I'm down to change it if, you know, you guys feel maybe we should change the hair. I mean, if we want to go more of like the Sideshow route, we can. I'm not, you know, I think we could do it. The only downside is it takes a little bit longer, and we have to set it up in a way where I can paint the face and glue the hair in afterwards. So if you guys are down for it, we can do it. It'll just be a little tricky. Then again, maybe for each one, if we have different headgear on them, we figure it out. Alright, we'll figure it out. Like I said, we'll work on the main figures first, and then, like I usually do, hair near the end anyway. So, before I forget this, let me pull this off. Hopefully this magnet stayed where I wanted it to. It's a strong magnet. That works. I think I put too strong of a magnet in there. Damn. Okay, well, at least I don't have to worry about that. Anything going on with that one. Holy shit. Alright, so we got some time. Let that hair still cure up a bit. Let's do this other magnet while I got this going. Might as well. Oh crap, that arm is not going anywhere. Alright, so I figure what the hell, I might as well show you what I'm doing with this. So I'll get this video up Sunday. So this is Thor kit from BC. I don't know who BC is. Maybe somebody knows the company who did this Thor. But it's not as big as I thought. It's got a crazy cape though. The cape is humongous on this kit. But the figure himself is pretty straightforward. You're not gonna get out of there, are you? Shit. It's always a pain in the ass to try to line up magnets with deep keys. Maybe the screwdriver will get it out. Just make sure that this... Hopefully I'm not hitting something here, am I? It's possible I screwed this up a little bit, but we'll make it work. Alright, I gotta sand some of this down. Okay, so I think what happened is when I put in this magnet, it sort of shifted a little and it squeezed up some eaves up there, so that wasn't lining up correctly. That's alright. Get it to work. This is one of those ownage kits that didn't come with all magnetized. It's just a basic kit, so I gotta add all the magnets and set it up. I attached the legs last night. I have to put this leg on and add a rod up it because it came with these like plastic pieces underneath the feet, and there's no way in hell those would support the item, so I'm putting rods in there. That's one thing I don't like about some of these kits sometimes is the factories cheap out and they just put like a piece of plastic or something instead of actual like a metal rod. But gotta make sure we do the kit right. I'm running low on red eaves too. I gotta order more. I'm gonna throw this bottle away, but I'll show you guys real quick. See that part B? It's been there for over like 2 years now. It's like hard as a rock and it's like just nasty. So time for that to go in the trash. That's what happens if you let your eave sit around outside forever and never use it up. I wonder if it got cool outside again. For some reason it was cool all day today, and then around 2 o'clock it just got hot as hell. So let's see what's going on. But you know what it is, Wells. We had a hot streak, and then all of a sudden we went to like fall weather, and I think it was Tuesday. I did the garage. I finally cleaned out the garage on Tuesday morning, and Wednesday I decided to pull out the Thor kit, and all of a sudden, like Tuesday was about 75. It was kind of cool and a little bit breezy. It was nice out. And then on Wednesday, it went up to like 95. It was crazy hot on Wednesday. I was working on the Thor kit, and it was so hot in there, I was like, I gotta get out of the garage. It was weird weather. And then all of a sudden on Thursday and today, it cooled off again. But see, I know the fall's coming because the trees by me are starting to turn red, even though it's still warm out. So that's just letting me know that it's like fall's right around the corner. I know Raccoon's gonna be happy. She likes her pumpkin lattes. But I want the summer to stay. I don't want the cold weather. I like my heat. Yeah, see, I'm different. I like the heat. I like waking up, nice hot day, sweat in the garage, do some work, and then, but now, I haven't had the AC on except on Wednesday, and it's been, crazy comfortable at night, you know? I got the fans on, it's really cool, so at least the nights have been okay. So what do you burn? Is that what you're saying? Oh, so the key is more that way? Ah, okay, I see. I see what you guys got going on. This magnet's gonna be too strong. I can't use this one. It's way too much. That's just a redhead thing, or what is that? I got the Italian blood in me, so I burn at first, and then after that I start just turning golden. Back in the, when I was a kid going to the pool, at the end of the summer I would be just like gold. But then again, those were years before sunblock, so we would just cook in the sun. Dude, Raz, that's weird. You like a vampire? You can't even friggin' have like a light switch on or something? What's going on? That's weird. I think you need to call Guinness Book of World Records or something. First person to get a sunburn from the moon. Alright, so this is always the pain in the ass part. Get a tape. Go there. Get some saran wrap. So this way it doesn't stick. This. Alright, so if you ever do a magnet this way, you gotta move fast, otherwise if you try and go slow, the magnet will pull out and then you gotta do all the stuff over again. So, take this and go in real quick, like that. And then, grab our tape. Without breaking the tape. And before I close up shop tonight, or before I go to bed, if I don't forget, I'll so did this at 5 o'clock basically, so if around at least like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I come in and take this off, we should be good. I don't like to leave the magnet and the eaves in there overnight, because if for some odd reason something got screwed up and I can't pull the arm off, it's a nightmare. Or rather, when it's a little bit safer, in 3 hours, pop it out. And I'll just put this on the ground and let that sit. So the barrier between the powder and the saran wrap is going to be enough to pull it out. But if you're not careful and there's like a notch in there and Eve gets in that notch even with the saran wrap and you try to pull out, it gets locked into place. So at least that'll be situated for now. Alright, I mixed up a little too much A's. Do I have something? I don't need all these pour spouts on the right leg. We're only going to need probably from this direction up here. So we don't need to have all of this. I'll probably cut here. So basically when I go to pour this in, if I have a spout in this direction, it's enough to pour in there. No, if you get the Aves locked in there with the magnet, it's not going anywhere once it cures. I believe that the way I just did those magnets with the Aves, as long as that Aves is around that magnet and it's around the edge pretty good and there's no like gaps, it'll hold that magnet in better than just having a perfect circle and gluing the magnet in there. I just like to take the extra step when I do my stuff for people. I don't like, you know, like if you have a little hole here and it's perfect and you put a drop of glue and a magnet in there, there's plenty of times where people have contacted me and are like, hey, my magnet came out. I used super glue, but it broke out anyway, you know? And I tell them, well, you got to chop out that super glue and you got to re-glue it again. The magnet with the Aves, I push it in far enough where a little bit of Aves kind of goes over the top and it holds it pretty well. Some people just like using glue and they're happy with it, but I like to throw the magnets with the Aves in there. Is this just like a layer on top res? That's why I'm able to scratch it with my fingernail? So I'm sure once I sand it down and prime it, it won't be an issue. I'm just kind of, unless I got super nails. It's not all the spots, but I don't know. Like I can't. It's just like the top layer. It's not really like digging into the resin. At least I don't think I am. Oh, scraping off my nail? I can't tell. Let me see. Let's see. It's hey, is it sanding down my fingernail or is it? I don't know. Yeah, it's like the top layer. It's like maybe like a film. Yeah, it's like the top layer. That's all it really is. So okay, it's nothing big. I'm gonna be. I gotta sand all this down anyway to get all these little supports off. So yeah, I guess it's just a film. I haven't seen that before with the blue stuff that my friend in Canada does. Unless maybe it does, but I don't see it because it's, I don't know. It's like I said, it's just a film on top. That's all it is. It's probably the Mountain Dew. Alright, let's get back onto this hair. Hopefully it's toughened up a little bit more. Let's see how it's starting to. Yeah, with short hair, you always got to kind of work on it a little bit, let it cure, go back to it. Let's get this one. I might have to build out the bangs a little bit on this. We'll see. Not really sure yet. Kind of build out little sections at a time if I have to. You guys that do the 3D printing, can you put the item in the sun? Does that help cure it too, or does it have to be like in a special box? I always wondered about that, if the sunlight cures it as well. Because I have a habit of when I get my item from my friend in Canada, because it's been in the box so long, it comes a little tacky. So I usually like let it sit in the sun. Does that do anything, or am I just wasting my time? So I remember I bought a UV light, but I can't find where I put it. I think I threw it out by accident. Yeah, I left my friend sent me a package one time, and I guess it got delayed. So it was during the summertime, and it was really, really hot. And when I opened it up, it was like, the box was like sweaty inside. So I thought it wasn't cured, but it was more of, you know, just because it was in the box. So I left it in the sun, and I forgot about it. And it was in there for like a good hour, and nothing warped. But afterwards, you know, I put it back in the garage. I let it sit there for the night. Next day I came, it was, you know, it was fine. You know, it was actually better than fine. It was like perfect. But I'm just wondering maybe if this sun doesn't do anything. Like I've taken Onage resin, like Onage, and I put their stuff in the sun, and then like after like 10 minutes it like flops because it gets really hot. But the 3D stuff doesn't do anything. But I'm just wondering if it helps cures it though. I'm always just like paranoid with stuff. I always like to go a little too crazy. So the sun will help? Okay. You know what it is even when I ship out packages to people, I hate it during the summertime though, because the items sweat in the box, and you know, those trucks are, you know, the trucks aren't AC. They have the back of the truck open, and the boxes are just in those hot trucks, and it always just drives me nuts. Nothing I could do about it, but I just get paranoid, you know? Because if something's going from New Jersey to like California and it's like all across the country, it's like in the 90s, I just get worried. This one's too small. Well, I'm just saying for me, just since I'm not a cool 3D printer like you guys, I try to do it the poor man's way. I'm sure the post lady that stops by my house to drop off packages probably wonders why there's a blue leg or something sitting on the ground outside half the time. She's never asked me, but she probably is like, this guy is weird. She's like, that's the dude that has the blue body part sitting on the front stoop all the time. Well, styrofoam and bubble wrap is the same thing in the heat. You know, like I have this styrofoam, but still, you don't want your items sweating in this stuff because even though it's still sort of breathable, it's still not. I haven't had an issue with something in the mail for like a couple days, but I did have one guy. I haven't heard from him in a while, but I did an item for him, and he didn't display it. But I wrapped it up in that styrofoam, and he put it up in his attic for like a year. He never even took it out of the box for display. And I think when he finally took it out, that foam melted onto the statue. So I think for a 3-day, 4-day trip is okay, but for like, you know, a whole summer in an attic in a hot is a bad idea. Oh, that stuff? Yeah, I haven't had an issue with that either, really. The, you know, basic foam. Because I wrap my stuff in the styrofoam, and I wrap it up in bubble wrap, and I put foam peanuts. I just, I'm just kind of thinking about the 3D prints, if they react at all. That's kind of what I'm trying to get used to. Because the other thing, too, is I don't know if you guys have that problem. Even though my door on the side of my house is on the other side where the sun doesn't hit it, the people love to leave it in the front of the house by the other door where the sun blasts all day long. So sometimes if I don't know the package is there, it's just sitting in the sun. So I don't know if people get like their packages in the mail and they're at work for like, you know, 5 hours. They come home and the box is just like blasting in the friggin' sun. So see you later, Jacob. Wells, what kind of resin were you using? Because this frozen stuff doesn't seem to warp on me. Because then again, I've always thickened it up with resin too for the hollow stuff. Frozen? Alright, so the guys, well, I don't know what, Raz, what did you use again? Because my friend in Canada uses Frozen 4K. Is that different? And I haven't had any issues with warpage. Hell, I've left that stuff in the sun and I can't even bend the item. Like, I think it was, not this arm, but he printed me an arm like this one time and I left it in the sun to just do a little curing. It was there hot. I mean, it was hot to the touch and I couldn't even bend it. So, and it was a solid piece too. It could be different resins. That's another thing. Just trying to get used to them all, you know? I do know one, I don't know what resin it was, but some, I bought it or somebody printed me something and the resin was like, you could crush it with your finger. It was super fragile. I forget what that stuff was called. It was like a really, really cheap 3D resin. But from my experience so far, 3D resins is just like regular resin. You get what you pay for. So if you cheap out, you get really cheap resin. Whereas like same thing with you know, casting and molding. If you get some like weird no-name brand, you can run into issues compared to like Smooth-On's resin. So it seems so far 3D resins are sort of the same. I wonder what the resin was that time, but then again that was a way back in the day, so maybe just that earlier resin was just really crappy compared to what they're using now. I remember it was the Jersey Fest show I went to too. Some guy was showing me some of his 3D prints, and it was just a test one. And he said, yeah, it's very brittle, and he was able to like to crush it, just like it was just crushing and going in his fingers. So I was like, wow, that's not really that good, but That was years ago. Yeah, I could tell that much, especially with just detail alone, it's changed. But yeah, before you know it, you'll be able just to print in color. It'll be all done in one shot. And then that's it. That's when everything changes around the world. That's when we all just sit in a chair, get fat like in Wall-E, and computers do everything for us. Kind of there already, but it'll be worse. Oh yeah, definitely. There's a couple guys you could tell that the head sculpts are done with AI, you know, for some of their kits and statues. So it's coming full force. Well, you better be open to it because it's not going anywhere, and it's only getting worse. So, gonna take over everything. I love all the memes I'm seeing on Instagram. You know what we thought AI would be and what AI is now. It's hilarious. It's we thought we were gonna have Terminator, but it's all just females with bigger proportions and stuff. It's kind of funny. So I think that's looking good. I still might need to add some more to the front of her hair. Once I do this side, I'll know if I need to add more. I might have to bring it out a bit, even though it looks okay from the side. I probably don't have to. I like where it's at now. It's a little tough to get into these spots here. Definitely going to be bitch to paint in this area. So make it work somehow. Alright, I think that's pretty good for now. I'll have to see about adding the bangs though. Not really sure. I like it. I think that looks good. Alright, it's getting hot in here again. I don't know if I need to add any to the front. I'll see tomorrow. Maybe if I have a chance, I can work on the other side. But I like it so far. I don't know, maybe I might need to do a little bit of bang work on her, maybe a little bit of a curl or something, I'll see. We'll figure it out. I just need to kind of like step away from it for now, let that cure up and then do the other side and see what I need to do from there. So next, get some, I want to get these pieces on the base tonight, so I'm going to keep plugging away. So, get some screen wrap. And if I mix up freeform air, I don't want to get it all over the statue. Especially if I have to twist or turn her. I think my relief for a project, at least if it's a commission for somebody, my relief is when it's actually in their hand and they say everything came through and they're happy. That's my relief. Because I worry about the shipping part mostly than anything. I get scared with shipping, you know? I always feel like something's gonna go wrong, or it's gonna be broken again, or, you know, maybe it went to the wrong house. I know what I gotta do real quick. I gotta go in the garage and just drill some holes in the base. Be right back. Alright. Yeah, shipping is the scariest part, I think, for me. That's shipping, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, I always feel that I'm wasting a day if I'm not working on statues. I mean, it is a full-time gig, but I always feel like if I'm not working in the studio, or if I didn't at least do one thing that day, whether it's, you know, painting real quick or sanding an item down, I feel like I wasted my day. It's kind of just something that's in me. Alright, freeform air time. I like this stuff, but I hate this stuff. It's like a hate-love relationship with this stuff. Hey Jerry, you're gonna put a short on YouTube, or where you gotta actually just send me a link when you do it. I'm glad you got her and everything went fine. You were kind of scaring me there for a bit. You didn't say if she came in okay or whatever, so. You gotta keep me informed with that stuff. Can't leave me hanging. We were just talking about that. Shipping's the scariest part. You tell work that statues is way more important, right? You tell them resin and paint is more important than whatever the hell you're doing for your livelihood. Yeah, the Tiger worked out pretty well. It sucked though, because I was sending pictures to Jerry and my studio lights kill the paint. So even though I was doing what he wanted, it gets confusing. It's just, it just sucks my camera. Like the iPad, and you know, it just punches colors up like crazy, and it's not what it looks like in person. That's true, Jerry. You gotta keep the holy grails coming. I gotta send you pictures of the Rogue tomorrow. I pretty much got the head and skin touched up. I just got to do the hair. But I think you said you wanted something with the hair, so I'll have to send you pics tomorrow. She's ready to be painted. Yeah, but Wells, I put a lot of resin and paint into my blood and bone. A lot of scars from it. I think if I could get the Rogue ready for paint, I could get this Thor kit ready for paint, and I could get this other guy's Wonder Woman ready for paint. I could just kind of do some paint work over the next week or so. And I could get these items done. And then I can start getting the Jessica Rabbits going, and then hopefully I could get this Jean Grey ready for paint. So I'm moving along pretty well. Slowly getting there. Alright, so I'm kind of like shoving this freeform into these notches so it'll help bond to the base. Even though the freeform air sticks pretty well, I like to have some kind of notches in this flat area so at least it kind of locks into place a little bit better. So, and all these gloves suck, and you can see how freeform air loves to stick. Yeah, I think it comes with the hobby. Like I said last stream, I jammed the X-Acto blade into my pointing finger right there. A nice little stream of blood came out. Didn't need stitches though, thank God. But definitely went in pretty well. So I think this should be good enough to lock these pieces in first. and then after that I can detail it up. What I need to do is to kind of get some water. That should be good. I think the nastiest scar I ever got from building kits is back after it was after art school. I was back at my parents saving the work, and I started doing anime kits on the side. So me and my brother were in the basement sitting down. He's playing a game. I'm working on a kit, and I went to take a little piece of resin off an item, and I sliced my finger right here. You can sort of see the scar. And it just went open, and my brother looked at me. He's like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital. So went over to the hospital. The guy put my finger in iodine, opened it up, and he tried to close it. He says, you need stitches, so he stitched me up, and that was it. So this is my first scar from building and building kits and everything. And it was the nasty one. Damn. That's a rough one. It's always a bad spot too, isn't it? If we do it this direction, sort of kind of hiding that. But maybe Magneto's helmet here. And then this piece of the school. Maybe Magneto's helmet over here. Oops. Gonna throw that maybe over there. Where'd that piece go? Here it is. So bring his helmet maybe a little bit more here. Bring this piece there. Bring the helmet juggernaut maybe a little bit. Just gotta come forward. Kind of just sort of let them kind of lay. Juggernaut's helmet's sitting off too far. Juggernaut's helmet's got to come up more. think I'm gonna have to pop out the glue now. But I kind of like sort of that. Xavier's kind of in front of Juggernaut's helmet. I think that'll sort of work. Kind of like that hitting there. It's not hitting her boots at all. Glue pieces will help lock it in place a little bit better. I'll throw dirt and stuff on it to really set in. As long as it's not hitting her leg, we're good. Get her insta set. Put Xavier here. Put Xavier there. Xavier like that. I have to just like Dremel some areas out though once it's like locked into place. Throw this piece over there. Any little spots with glue, I'll just put like freeform over it. As long as I don't screw up the figure. But I'll make it nice and messy and get it all situated. So this is the Insta set. This will help lock it. Oh. Just makes it cure faster, that's all. Not your typical X-Men base, but something a little different. I would love to go start locking them into place now with the freeform, but I don't want to all of a sudden accidentally hit something and then they just all start breaking off on me. So we'll just kind of play it safe and let it cure up for the night. See how it's kind of like still wobbly? I should still try to lock it in the best I can. Yeah, it'll be messy, it'll tell a story, it'll be a little different. It won't be super clean. It's gonna be like a darker base, you know, once it's kind of painted up. And over here, just be a lot of more dirt and stuff. I don't want to throw too much back here on her. I don't like the base taking up too much room, so her hands stick out pretty far, but they're going to be further than this area, so that works. And I'll throw a bunch of freeform air inside the helmet. Actually, let me see, do I have a tool I can get in there? Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Yeah, I'll probably throw some more in there. Not a lot, but... Make sure this helmet gets locked in. Make sure everything gets locked into place. That's the important thing. So like if I throw a bunch of freeform air around here, I might Dremel a little hole through the helmet and then sort of like help like lock it in place when you put a little bit over it. I might. I don't know. I'll see how it is tomorrow. And what I could do is sort of throw a little bit more glue in here now. Screw it. I'll make sure it locks. See, it freeform air right away. Even this like little chunk down here, it's already starting to cure. Because the thicker it is, the more it cures faster. So. See, I told you, Raz, this broken sign would work out for what I was gonna do. I'll probably put some dirt going over the face of the helmet, help lock it in place, Dremel some of these points out so they don't grab or pull anything. It's not really hitting her at all, so that's good. And I'll put a lot of dirt over here so it just kind of looks, I might throw more pieces. I don't have many left. Unless I broke something and it flipped somewhere else. I don't think it did. Alright, let's see my little mashup. Take the saran wrap off. See how it looks. I still gotta find a bowl for Invisible Woman. I haven't had a chance to look for that yet. Maybe I'll find something on Amazon if there's any Labor Day sales. I'll get creative tomorrow with her boot, and I'll make sure I don't get any free-form air on it. I think tomorrow I'll wake up, get some coffee, and then see if I could just kind of free-form air this up, get it over and done with. I think it works for her. Can't get all the way back. You know what I could do? The only thing I could do is I don't want to make it look like she's these will break though. The only thing I could think of is like making like a little bit of a reference to Pyro, but these might break. Yeah, these will break. No, because I don't have a box for it. I'm trying to create a box for that. Well, if you look at her from the front, you really don't need to put anything back there behind her, you know? Ah, I know what I can do. Ah, I almost forgot. This is what we can add. Smoke pieces. So I got all these smoke pieces from my friend Meta John, who I use for my Power Girl. Wood scraps might not be a bad idea. Maybe I could add some wood scraps in there, but we could also add some smoke because our hair is flowing. So maybe I could add some little pieces of smoke, you know, sort of make it look like it's you know, like behind her. See, I thought of adding bricks, but then again, I decided I was gonna make bricks, or I was gonna look online for bricks. But the problem is I was afraid I was gonna start building too high up. I didn't want to go too high up, but I'm thinking maybe the smoke will be better. So like maybe like this one back here, you know, and then maybe like smoke there, and then maybe you know, like another smoke like in there. Type stuff, sort of like that. I think that'll probably look better, right? Than adding fire. So I got a bunch of little ones too in here. Yeah, so maybe because he's printing me out new ones, because I got to use these for my Power Girl custom of myself when I get down the line to get to that. But I can use these probably for back here, like this type thing. So let's pull this off. Let's pull this off. Yeah, so I'll add the smoke. I'll have to figure it out tomorrow. I don't want to. I mean, that looks pretty good like that, because it goes with her flow of her hair, you know. I can do. So I could sort of, and like this one, I can sort of cut it out a bit, or I can throw, you know. And I got little tiny smoke things too, you know. Throw it like in there. So yeah, I'll have to play with it. But yeah, I think the smoke would probably be better. This way it's not yeah, smoke would be better. I don't have to. Yeah, so I can use this one back here, and I could kind of sort of build in the smoke a little bit with the dirt a little bit more. And this stuff is pretty strong. I mean, I don't have to worry about this breaking too much. But yeah, so these, like, you know, I can use this sort of. Alright, so smoke it is. That's what we're doing. It was missing something. I knew that. I just didn't know what, though. I had to play with it. But smoke it is. So I'm going to add smoke to it. I'll figure out what areas. Sort of lock it in place. Yeah, get the smoke on, get the base on, clean it up, and then I can start painting her. There's nothing really more to do to her. I cleaned up the body as much as I could. I don't want to get it too dirty, so I got to keep wrapping in saran wrap. But I'm pretty happy with this one. This one was a lot of fun, even though it was a weird side project. The hair came out good. I'm glad I redid it from what I first did. When I first did it, it really bothered the hell out of me. But like I said, I also fixed her hands, so they look a little bit more uniform now. They might not, but they are a little bit more in scale. So with Invisible Woman, if I could find a bowl, I might have to do some smoke as well, because I figure it's going to come up from the ground, and I might do some like blocks. Maybe with her I could find some bricks. You know, I think there was a guy on eBay selling like 1/6 scale bricks or something, I forget. Or I could make them myself with freeform air, break them up, and I could sort of make like bricks with the thing coming around it. I gotta find something, so. Well, Jacob did. We'll make fun of Jacob. He was looking at her hands. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Alright, I think that's where I'm calling it for tonight. We're definitely on the right track finally. So, gonna keep working on the Jessicas. Next Friday, we're going to end the votes, so whatever's top, just in case. That's where we're going to start planning our attack on stuff. And then if you guys have any suggestions or ideas or pictures or whatever, you can post it on Patreon. I don't know if you can you? If not, you can email me, ask my email or whatever, and we'll start planning those out. Alright, that's where I'm done for today. So you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Well, it's actually a holiday weekend, right? So have a good holiday. And we'll see you next week, and hopefully keep plugging away on stuff. And thanks again, Raz. Appreciate the print. It came out good.